Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I've got so many requests from a lot of you on Instagram saying you should start YouTube, So here I am committing to do at least 2 YouTube videos for you a month. We might increase later on, but right now I'm just committing to 2. And today I really want to share with you my fat loss journey update because I started fat loss 3 weeks ago. I decided to just do this January 8 to 12 week cut. Usually that's what I do beginning of the year, every single year. And so I started about 3 weeks ago, and I have been losing a lot of weight the first week. I started at 177 and I dropped to 167 within the first 10 days, which was amazing. We all know that it's a water retention. So you guys, when you start fat loss phase, don't feel like you have to lose a lot of weight initially, and if you do, don't think that it's all fat. Typically, especially for someone who goes from eating a lot of garbage, which is not me because I never really eat a garbage, or you know what I mean, but I was definitely eating a little bit more over Christmas. So when I dropped my calories and started the cut, I saw a big drop, and that was amazing. That's the instant gratification. It's yeah, it's working, right? But then we had a little slip up. I went for dinner with my boyfriend. We had his birthday dinner, and we ate a lot of food. You can see that on the screen here. This is all we ordered, and I was enjoying myself, right? Because I was I want to have a good time. I don't want to look back and say, yeah, remember back in 2025, your birthday sucked because I couldn't eat because I decided to do fat loss phase. That's not how I work, guys. I love balance, and ultimately that's really the only way to get results without feeling deprived. So I've enjoyed myself. I probably ate 4,000 calories that day, and the weight jumped up, right? The weight jumped to 172 or 173 from 167, so 5 pounds overnight. So the same it dropped before, it went up overnight, which again wasn't fat, it's just inflammation. When you eat more carbohydrates, your body retain water from them. When you are eating a little bit more food, obviously you have the food in your digestive system before you go and poop it out. So when you step on the scale after having a big dinner and you see the big jump 5 pounds, remember, it has nothing to do with fat. It's just inflammation, water retention. Now, after that, I obviously got back on track, and then I had one day when I went over my macros a little bit, and my weight has jumped up to 174, which I was holy crap, what is happening? This is not good. My body is clearly responding to something. So I was okay, let me just make some adjustments, because I don't want to spend months and months in fat loss phase. You need to remember that when you are in a fat loss phase, it should be strategically planned phase where you pretty much plan 8 to 12 week off cut, meaning that you're consuming less calories that your body requires in order to maintain its weight. And from there, hormone reset. I've done it last year. It really made me feel great. I've done it for a couple weeks with my coach, and it was something new that I've never done before, and I felt really, really good. So pretty much how hormone reset is a low FODMAP diet, meaning that there are types of carbohydrates that they are fermented in the gut that cause things like bloating, discomfort, and inflammation, and you can be sensitive to those, and that's why you might feel sometimes little fluffy, bloated, things like that, right? So it is anti-inflammatory diet, and the purpose of this diet is to reduce bloating, improve your digestion, and lower inflammation overall. Like I said, I've done it before and it worked. It's hard, it's not easy. And so that's why I was debating if I want to do that, but I've decided to do it because I just wanted to feel great. So another thing is that it's very, very limited when it comes to the foods that you can eat. For me, it contains just a few foods that I'm eating. There is obviously an elimination of most of the things that I normally eat. So as of right now, I eat pretty much just chicken, sweet potatoes, avocados, olive oil, some veggies, only specific veggies. So I'm eating a lot of spinach, and I'm eating spaghetti squash and zucchinis and bananas. Those are literally the only things that I eat. Yes, it is very restricted, but it's very, it works. So initially when I started last year, I was like, are you telling me that I need to eat chicken for breakfast? Which to me, I'm like, I love pancakes, right? Like I love these things. So I didn't or couldn't imagine really to be able to eat chicken for breakfast. But let me tell you, you get used to everything. So I did it, and I this time around feel so much better. Last year when I did it, I had to cut out caffeine, which I already cut out this year in like August. I decided to just like not drink coffee. So when I was doing the hormone reset a few days ago when I started, I didn't go through this crazy shock and withdrawal. Like I felt really good. Actually, I didn't have headache or anything like that. Last year when I did it, it was insane. Like I remember I messaged my coach and I was like, is this how am I supposed to feel? Like I feel actually horrible. I remember I was laying on the couch the second day and I had such a horrible migraine because my body was getting rid of obviously tons of toxins. I didn't drink the caffeine in the morning, so my body was going through a lot. This time around, I have zero symptoms. I actually starting to feel better finally. It's my third day as I'm recording this for you. So I feel so much better. It's so much more manageable. And because I already know what to expect, I feel like it's just easy to do. I'm going to do this diet for about 2 to 3 weeks. Like I said, really the main reason to do that is just to get rid of inflammation and bloating from some of the foods that I've been eating, maybe some of the protein powders that I was eating. I was using also like a 0-calorie pancake syrup. I was using some sweeteners, not so much, but yes, in my coffee sometimes like a low sugar or like 0-calorie vanilla syrup. And as you go through like the reset, or like for someone who doesn't pay attention to these things, you might think that it's not a big deal, but you can be actually so sensitive to these things and your gut just doesn't digest these things well, and then that's why you can feel a lot of those symptoms like bloating and like inflammation and just not feeling great in your body. So if you ever want to try it, you can reach out to me. I can definitely navigate you and help you to do that. With that being said, like I said, I'm going to do it for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm going to start incorporating back to my diet things like nut butters, Greek yogurt, like obviously dairy, because right now I'm like dairy free, like I don't have any dairy in my diet, and yeah, that's pretty much my goal for the next few weeks. My goal ultimately is to lose about like 10 pounds, so we'll see how that goes. Now, when it comes to strength training and my workout split, right now I am training about 5 to 6 times a week. Now, strength training is absolutely essential for fat loss phase. Fat loss doesn't equal weight loss. We want to focus on fat loss, not weight loss, because let me tell you, you can lose weight and you can actually look at yourself in the mirror and still don't like what you see, because you can lose a lot of muscle along the way, and that's not what you want, right? Losing weight without strength training means that you are losing fat and muscle at the same time. We don't want that. Lifting weights prevents muscle mass or preserves muscle mass, so that's what you want, because when you are in a fat loss phase, you're consuming less calories than your body needs in order to maintain its weight. So logically, your body goes to, those muscles and break them down for energy if you're not eating enough, if you don't have enough protein in your diet. That's why a high protein diet is super important to preserve the muscle that you've built previously, right? My workout split right now is 5 workouts per week, right? I do work with a coach who does my training split for me, so I don't have to really worry about it. I love that. I do my own nutrition, but I love working with coach for my training because I don't really want to think about my training program, and he is fantastic. And then for cardio, I do some, usually it's like HIIT, but right now I was on deload week, which means that I was taking it a little bit easy for about 2 weeks. So I wasn't even doing much cardio. The difference between HIIT and steady state cardio, pretty much HIIT is great for like a quick calorie burn, but it's also way more stressful on your body because it raises a cortisol level, which is your stress level, a stress hormone. And low intensity steady state cardio, LISS, LISS, is way better for fat loss phases because it doesn't spike your hormones like your cortisol. So the question is, do I need to do one or the other? The answer is it depends, right? It very, very depends on each person, because for myself, if I coach my clients and I know that, my clients are in a very good place, like they're still consuming a lot of food, they're getting adequate enough sleep, they are feeling great, they don't really struggle with, any like stressors like at work, they just feel pretty relaxed. They're also doing some like meditations or like mindset work to reduce their stress levels. Like overall, when I feel like they're doing great, like their digestion is great and like everything is great, we can do some HIITs with them. But there's a lot of clients who are just not in a good place to do that, because if I increase their HIIT or if I give them HIITs in their programs, the chances are that we're going to spike their cortisol way too high, and where your cortisol is high, your body retains way more water, becomes more inflamed, and the fat loss can even stop sometimes, which is not fun. So should you do low intensity cardio or HIIT? It depends, right? Now, another thing is that you should also focus on step goal. For me, I do try to get between 12 to 14,000 steps a day. Usually I'm averaging 14,000 just because, call me crazy, I don't know. I just told myself that 14,000 will be a good start for me, and I might start reducing later on or increasing in advance. Again, you guys have to think about really the fact that what works for someone doesn't work for other person, right? So that's why I do my own nutrition, but I'm also like manipulating with the things that I do for my body, and depends on the results that I'm getting, I'm changing the plan as I go. So for now, I'm walking around 12 to 14,000 steps a day. Those extra calories that comes from those steps are obviously helping me to lose weight faster, because it's a type of exercise that we call NEAT, which is non-exercise activated thermogenesis, meaning that those are the calories that are burned outside of workouts. So that's like the walking, standing, moving around. And it's important to focus on your NEAT. You don't want to be only sitting on your butt, because it's less stressful on your body to go for a walk than running on treadmill. So before anything, even with my clients, I pretty much don't give them cardio if I know that they're not even getting their steps done. A majority of my clients don't even do cardios, and they're losing weight. So you don't have to rely on cardio or anything like that. Just focus on steps. The good rule of thumb, I don't know, English is my second language, is like the 10,000 steps a day, right? Especially when you're in fat loss phase, that's kind of what you want to focus on. Hydration. I want to talk about hydration because it's very important to stay hydrated. Guys, water is pretty much essential for fat loss, for metabolism. Dehydration means that your metabolism is slower. You might also feel increased hunger. You might feel a little bit more fatigue. So drinking half of your body weight in ounces, it's kind of like what you should aim for. So if you're 160 pounds, you want to be drinking at least 80 ounces of water per day. Now, other thing is also electrolytes. Those are also very important for hydration, especially if you're sweating more. So maybe consider adding those to your water. and just again, make sure that you get the water down in. The best thing is to get like a big jug that you fill up in the morning, and you know that you have to finish the whole thing. If it's like a gallon, like 3.8 liters, perfect. If it's smaller, you know that you have to go through 2 of those. It's really just about getting like almost like used to it. Initially it feels like a lot of drinking water, but when you get used to it, it's not that hard. What else I'm going to cover? I'm going to talk about also a calorie deficit and explaining a calorie deficit and what it is. So essentially, calorie deficit means, you know, you're eating below your maintenance calories. So you're consuming less than your body burns on a daily basis. That's the only way how you can lose weight. There's no other way around. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. No magic diet works unless it creates a calorie deficit. How to calculate it? You want to use the TDEE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure Calculator. You can go on Google, you can like easily calculate it, and that will give you a number based on obviously your gender, age, height, weight, and activity level. You will subtract about 300 to 500 calories for sustainable weight loss. That's how you calculate your deficit. But now, this is just very generic formula, and I don't really want to throw the numbers out there or tell you like this is exactly how you do it, because a lot of times clients who comes to me are not even at the point where they can lose weight because they've been under eating for so long that pretty much what happens is that they sometimes get their bodies to the point where they lost the ability to lose weight because they just haven't been eating for a long time. Their metabolism is slowed down. Their hormones are out of whack. So in that case, we need to go through like a recovery phase first, which is usually reverse diet, where we restore their metabolic functions, their hormones first, and just like make sure that their bodies are at the point where they can successfully lose weight later on. So again, you can calculate your maintenance just like I, suggested, but is it gonna work? There are highly chances that it's not going to work, because again, I work with a lot of women and men, and if I would give them this calculation, it wouldn't work for them. So if you're one of those who's been under eating, jumping from one diet to another, the likelihood of this to work for you is like probably 0. Importance of protein, like I've already mentioned, guys, like you have to make sure also that protein is your number 1 priority, because like I said, you want to preserve your muscles, because also protein keeps you full, because it burns, and also there is the thermic effect food, which means that protein burns more calories during digestion. So there's so many reasons why you want to have a higher protein diet when you go to fat loss phase. So again, protein preserves muscles. How to calculate your protein? Take your goal body weight and multiply it by like 0.7 to 1. So if your goal body weight is 160 pounds, you can multiply it by 1. So your total protein intake should be 160 grams per day. Now, here is the trick also, or not trick, here is the thing, that if you're someone who is currently eating 80 grams of protein, maybe 50, because so many people have a hard time to get a protein in, you are not going to bump your protein to 160 grams. You're probably going to shit your pants if you do, and you're not going to have a good time, and your digestion is not going to be happy. So if that's you, you need to progressively start increasing your protein till you get to the 160 grams. Again, that also tells me that you probably are not ready for fat loss phase, that we need to do some recovering first and building some sort of foundation and priming your body for fat loss before we even jump to fat loss phase. Now I'm going to also take you to the kitchen, because it's time for dinner, and I'm gonna show you what I'm making for my dinner. Like I told you, you guys, I eat very boring meals now. There's nothing fancy. You know that I love cooking and I love desserts and I love making all these yummy foods in the kitchen. But for the next few weeks, I am just not going to have much fun in the kitchen, because I'm prioritizing my health right now. So let's go to the kitchen. Now we're gonna add the chicken because it's been there for about like 15 minutes. And as you can see, the potatoes are cooked, but I'm gonna only take out the zucchini because that's for sure cooked, and I'm gonna leave the potatoes there for a little bit longer. So again, I'm waiting everything out, like everything. So zucchini, we have 80, 120, 133. And for chicken, I have it just marinated in salt and avocado oil and cinnamon. And then I'm gonna just add it to the potatoes here and cook it for like, I think like 7 minutes should be fine. And that will be it. So yeah, we're gonna let that cook for a few more minutes. 8 minutes, and then I'll be back. Also, another great veggies if you're trying to increase volume for your meals but not so much calories: zucchini squash and spaghetti squash and zucchini squash. I think that's the two difference. So I cooked it yesterday. So actually I baked the spaghetti squash in the oven, and my zucchini I cooked in the water. So I'm going to have 200 grams and just warm it up in microwave and then like mix it all together with the rest of the food that I'm already making in the air fryer. This is literally 200 grams of spaghetti squash, and 200 grams of spaghetti squash, it's only 54 calories. Like, it's like the best thing, and only 12 grams of carbs. So I'm gonna warm up this in the microwave. Let's assemble my dinner. It's time. So now we have the spaghetti squash. It doesn't really have any salt, so I wanted you to see what I'm putting in, so that's why this weird angle. But yeah, I'm gonna put some salt on it, spinach, just because, you know. A little bit of iceberg. You see how I have everything like in bowls and just like ready to go? That's how I do my meal prep. This is gonna be a big bowl, but not so much calories. And now we're gonna add there the zucchini that's been sitting here. Potatoes. It was supposed to be 100 grams. Let's see how good I am with the estimate. 77, so I still have some carbs left. That's amazing. And now chicken. Look how juicy this is. Like, can you hear that? Like, look. The best. Air fryer is the best. Oh, okay. I'm making so much mess. Chicken. My floor is clean, so pretend you don't see this. And last but not least, healthy fats. Avocado, 50 grams. Of avocado. And this is what I eat 3 times a day. This big bowl. I love that, makes me feel really good, and I'm okay to eat this for the next 2 weeks. Today's vlog. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Maybe, hopefully, you've learned something new about fat loss phases and how to do them, at least the basics. And I am excited to share more with you. Now I'm gonna go upstairs, wash my face, take a shower, and bedtime. Bye.